Hi, my name is Kevin Mavers. I'm the Community Development Director for the City of Roswell, New Mexico. I moved to Roswell in February of this year, so I've only been doing my job since I think my first day was February 22nd, so just a little over 2.5 months. Well, I was living in La Quinta, California before I moved to Roswell. That was about 25 miles south and east of Palm Springs. But I grew up in the high desert in the area around Lancaster and Palmdale, North Los Angeles County, which was characterized by the NASA developments, space shuttle, moon landings, and everything else. We had a tremendous ongoing space program there. So Roswell was part of the legend of space development and space flight in the United States, going all the way back to the original flight tests and the testing of some of the fuel from Robert Goddard back in the early 1900s. So everybody knew, in my part of the world, knew of the alien space crash. They knew of the legend of Roswell from 1947. And probably half the people I grew up with had been to Roswell and visited Roswell. I personally had never been to Roswell until I moved here a couple of months ago, but everyone is well aware of the things that happened in 1947, and of course then the subsequent legend that followed. The thing that really attracted me to Roswell, in fact the first day I got into town, I took a few hours and I just walked around. I talked to people. I went into a couple of different businesses. And the thing I noticed right away was how incredibly friendly and open everybody is here. That is one of the things that I was looking for when I moved here, was try to find a place where I really felt welcome. And I did. I remember calling my wife, even before I accepted the job to go to work for the city, and saying, "Hey honey, guess what? We're coming to Roswell. I think you're going to love it. I know I already am falling in love with it, and nothing has changed my mind. Every single day that I work, every single day that I talk to people, I find something new and wonderful to love about Roswell. Beyond the aliens and beyond the festivals and beyond everything we're doing, just the people here, the climate, the culture, everything about this community, to me, says untapped opportunity. And I hope to be part of that future that Roswell is making for itself. The city of Roswell has been establishing not new food truck regulations, but what we're going back is to a period in a post-COVID world where we're having to apply the existing regulations that are already on the books at the federal, state, and local levels. So what we've done is we've reached out to our food truck community and we've let them know that they need to be contacting us early, preferably a month or more before the UFO Festival or before any events, so that we can sit down and talk to them about what our new regulations are going to be relative to meeting environmental health requirements, meeting fire code requirements, meeting setback requirements, meeting the requirements for being internally powered. In other words, every vehicle must have their own generator or everything, things like that. So there's quite a bit of things that we need to go through. We want to make sure everyone is set up for success. So we're asking everybody to contact our business license department early so that we can walk you through the process and set you up to get your permit. If you buy one of the newer food trucks, they're already coming with the appropriate hoods and the appropriate fire suppression equipment. They're already coming with the onboard generators and things like that. All the things that we need to be self-sustaining as essentially a mobile commercial kitchen. Okay? Where we're getting a little bit of pushback and we're concerned, and which is why we're getting the information out there as early as possible, is some of the older food trucks or some of the converted vehicles that have been converted. We want to make sure that everybody is current and up to date with the most current regulations, the most current information, so that they can take the time, they have the time to get out there if they need to earn a little extra money, if they need to work a little extra hard, but give them the time to reinvest back into themselves, back into their food truck business, to bring everything up to a standard that we expect and, quite honestly, that they need to be at. The City of Roswell business licensing is actually incredibly inexpensive. An annual business license, I believe, is only $35. That will carry you for a year. Okay? Where there's additional costs, though, of course, is going to be in the permitting for a particular event. Because mobile food trucks, by definition, move around and they go to different events, each event probably has its own permit fee. As an example, for the summer, we have our Friday food truck festivals. It's not really a festival, but we offer a Friday food truck program. So to go from the 1st of May until Labor Day, that's a one-time $75 fee. Every Friday night, you can go out, you've got your permit, you can sell along Main Street. For the UFO Festival coming up, there'll be a separate fee because it's a separate festival, a separate permit, separate operations. So that fee will be established prior to the beginning of the event when you get your permit. For anyone who may be attending the event and wants to be a vendor, and you may have prepackaged food or other things that you want to sell, maybe things you're making out of your home kitchen, you want to be part of the event and sell things that you've pre-made, please remember, it's not just food trucks that need a business license. If you are selling anything at the UFO Festival, you're going to need a City of Roswell business license. So we ask you to please contact us as early as possible. We'll run you through the process. It's not nearly as detailed for other folks as it is for the actual food truck vendors, but it's still a process and it takes a couple of days to move through it. So please, if you're selling anything at the UFO Festival, even prepackaged food, get a hold of us early and let's get you through the process as quickly as possible. We want to make very clear to everybody that there is a two-step process in order to become a vendor at the UFO Festival. Step number one is that you need to contact the City of Roswell and you need to make sure that you have a valid City of Roswell business license for your food truck. Once your food truck goes through the business licensing process, then you will contact the UFO Festival management team. You will download from their website the actual application in order to be a vendor at the UFO Festival. It's my understanding there is a fee for that privilege, but once you pay that fee, there are no additional fees to the City of Roswell that are required in order to be a vendor at the UFO Festival. The City of Roswell will work with the festival operators. We will vet everybody, and then once you have your business license and you put in your application, you should be on your way to being a vendor at our upcoming UFO Festival. In a post-COVID world, I think the UFO Festival is the best thing that we can do to say that Roswell is back. Roswell is open for business. Roswell is a destination for fun, for festivals, for food, for everything that's going on. I absolutely believe that this year's UFO Festival is a gigantic coming out party for the City of Roswell, and we're going to put ourselves back on the map and say, we're here. We're going to have fun, and you know what? It's time to get back to having a good time instead of being worried all the time. Whether you believe or you don't believe, so what? Okay? It happened. There was an event. Okay? It was exciting. It brought people together, and honestly, it gave a lot of credence to many of the sci-fi adventures that happened after it. Of course, I grew up with Star Trek, and you could see that there was the idea of aliens coming to Earth, okay, in the earliest forms of Star Trek, the Vulcans, the Andorians, the Deltans, all those folks that were coming to visit, and the part of the United Federation of Planets, a much bigger galaxy out there. Truthfully, if you think about it, with all due respect to the Star Trek world, Roswell, New Mexico was a point of first contact, not Montana.